The weather has started to cool off, and I'm like this every year. Whenever it starts to change like this, I have to start decorating my house for fall. Even though fall's not officially here yet, I love the anticipation leading up to it. I love when the weather starts to cool off, and I love orange, I love pumpkins, I love gourds. I was gonna do a dedicated video to a specific thing, but I have so much going on that I want to share with you guys that I figured a vlog where I talk about many things might be better. And I see in the comments from the past couple of videos, a lot of you are missing the, not exactly the vlog style, but just catching up with me and what's going on in my life and seeing Kale. So I'm hoping this video will help to fill in some of those blanks. And I'm still trying to find that balance between trying to create content that I know the soap makers who watch my video really like, and also the content that people who like to see my day-to-day really like. Trying to find a good balance between the two. I'm still trying to figure that out. But for today's video, here are the main things that I wanted to show. If you're hearing some banging, I'll let you know what that's about later on in this video, but you might hear some of that as I talk, so I apologize for that. In this video, I want to make an all black bath bomb. Not just like a gray bath bomb, but a truly black bath bomb. Halloween is coming. I know a lot of people like to make black bath bombs for Halloween, and a lot of people struggle with getting that true black color, so I'm gonna try doing that today. I'm also going to show you some of the other things I've been collecting for my brand and the direction that I'm moving my brand towards. I'll give you a sneak peek into that. But yeah, it's just such a busy time, and I'm just really excited about all of that. How do you guys like my display? Isn't this beautiful? These are all fake. I did, throughout the summer, fill my vases with real flowers, but I won't be able to do that for the winter time, so I figured I might as well get some really nice looking fake plants to fill that void, because I love seeing plants in my space. I got these fun gourds from the grocery store. They're selling these and pumpkins. Right now you saw a glimpse of the really warty, ugly pumpkin on my deck. I think this is it for fall decor though. I don't want to go too crazy with it. Let me know in the comments if you have started decorating your houses for fall, because I just think it's so fun and it looks so beautiful. If you are interested in the exact fake flowers that I use, I have a link to that down below. You guys haven't seen him in a while. Here is Gibson. He just got groomed and he's looking very beautiful. It's been kind of difficult finding groomers and vets where I am. The one vet we found, we tried to book a vet visit for the animals. They only take appointments 4 months out. So the animals have vet appointments in December. But that's definitely not something that's going to be good if they suddenly get sick and we need to see a vet right away. So we're still trying to figure that stuff out. I'm gonna head down to my studio where I'll show you the source of that banging, and I will also gather some of the supplies that I need to make my black bath bombs. So we're here in my studio, and this is the source of that banging that you heard upstairs. And over here is Kale. Hi, Kale. Is that you waving?
Yep.
Okay.
That's my light piece. Putting this guy back together.
Yes, he's been working so hard and I'm so thankful, but this is the packing station that we had assembled in Calgary that took us a really long time to disassemble, and we moved it all the way down here to Olympia, and it's coming together. It'll be so nice to get this packing table set up, because the table that I did set up for my packing didn't work out that way. It just ended up being too low, and it's now the collector of all my packing junk. And that's where it's gonna go, in this corner here. We spoke to a plumber, and hopefully we'll have a sink here. We don't know when that's gonna be, but we're in the works of that, and that's so exciting. So I came down here to grab some baking soda and to get the dye for my black bath bombs project. I'm gonna be attempting to get a really black bath bomb using Fizz Fairy's Jet Black dye. And there's a few tricks with using this. It's not like any other bath bomb dye. And I'll walk you through the steps. The first step being is to grab some baking soda.
Good job.
Oh, this looks great. So this is where we hope the sink is gonna go, in that corner. And then we got more moving around to do. What are you trying to do? What is that? Are you a samurai? There's like glass right there. It could have shattered.
I feel really good about getting this together, so
I hope so.
showing off my bow skills.
You're okay. I'm sure your fans will appreciate that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. This looks
You're welcome.
fantastic. This will really help me out because this was just not working out for me. With the table finally assembled, I took the opportunity to completely overhaul the studio space. After working in it for a few months, I knew what worked and what didn't, so that made the decision to where to move stuff super easy. Sometimes it takes a few tries, you know? Another little change that made a huge difference was swapping out the yellow lights with these brighter daylight lights that will make everything on camera look much nicer. And then I spent the rest of the time moving all of my packing stuff from one corner of the room to the packing station. Because this table had been disassembled for so long, I'd forgotten how useful it was, not just as a place to pack my shipments, but as a storing unit that helps store all of my shipping stuff. All of this was scattered in my studio in a very disorganized way, so it was so satisfying to find a place for it all. It was also great to designate a specific side of the room to strictly making and producing product, and the other side of the room as packaging and shipments. This layout makes so much more sense, and I was able to gain a lot more room, which is awesome. So we're back up in the kitchen because Kayla's doing that downstairs, and I need some boiling water for the next stage. To unlock the magic of jet black dye, you're gonna need some boiling hot water, and I have some boiling hot water going right there. We're going to disperse about 2 teaspoons of the stuff into some really hot boiling water. So this is quite a bit more than what I would normally use in my bath bomb batch. Put that into here. And then I'm gonna add my boiling hot water to this measuring glass. So here is the boiling water. I'm just gonna grab 2 tablespoons, put it into here. Just mix it. And completely dilute all of that powder. All right, now that I've completely stirred all of that black dye into the hot water, I'm gonna pour it right into my baking soda here. And we're gonna get all of that black dye in just a bit, but we're gonna start with just this. We're gonna start mixing it into our baking soda. And you really wanna work it in between your hands so that you can break up all of those black chunks. And the magic really is in getting all of that completely into the baking soda. So this is the color that I got with half a teaspoon of dye. I think I'm gonna try another half teaspoon with some more boiling water. And I will come back to you and show you whether or not that worked to get it black, because I am hoping to have the baking soda be quite dark before I even attempt a black bath bomb. All right, round 2 with some more boiling water. I'm actually going to leave this for about 5 minutes to let it cook. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Let's add this to the baking soda. We are just going to start that process again. Get rid of all those clumps. So here is the baking soda after adding all of that dye. And you know, it does look kind of gray, but I wonder if it'll get darker once you add the oils and citric acid. I think this is good enough for now. I'm gonna spread this out over a pan and let it dry over 24 hours. So that happened. 221 USD. But it was definitely a necessary purchase, and I'm glad I finally did it. This is extremely bright. I'm heading down now to the studio, and now that we have made the changes, I get so excited to go down there because it just feels so much bigger. You'll see. Oh. Yes. And look at the light. So we switched up the lights. Before it was a very yellow light, and we swapped them out for daylight lights. And that gives off a way more even, whiter light that will make everything that I make here look not so yellow, and it'll help with my social media posts. And here's the black baking soda. I think that it's gonna be good. I think the bath bombs that I make with this guy are gonna be dark. I don't know how dark yet. We'll see. The baking soda looks dry, so we're gonna attempt that in just a little bit. In here, I have some interesting new things to play with. I went ahead and purchased a bunch of small silicone molds. I want to try a few things with my business that I haven't tried before. Can't wait to show you what I do with all of this. These are basically silicone molds to make melt and pour objects that I can use to decorate my soap, my lotions, my whatever I decide to sell. I just think these little silicone molds will add a really fun branded touch to whatever I make. And of course, I will show you how I use them as I use them. This is some tissue paper in a gorgeous forest green color that matches these mailers that I will be using once all of these are used up. And I used quite a bit. I had so many, but these are getting low. And once those are out, we're gonna be using these guys, and then some beautiful poly mailers in the same forest green color. Even got some branded tape here. This is pretty much the clearer version of this guy. This is so nice. I am in love with this packing station. I forgot how useful it was. For those wondering, here are the soy wax soap bars that I made, and they are drying so beautifully. They feel really smooth, gorgeously smooth. Way nicer than my shea butter bars. The only downside is how fast it made my batter accelerate. So I definitely think I'm going to be adding more soy wax to my soaps, but just not at that 20% mark. It's too high. But I do love how the soap bars turned out. Is this the same one I picked up? Here we go. Beautiful. So simple. Welcome to the new studio setup. I'm just checking my lights. I think I'm okay. Might want to lower the brightness on that. And I am just about ready to start making the bath bombs. And this batch is extra special because it's going to be the first batch in Washington that I'm going to attempt to make a bath bomb using the bath bomb press. I've been very nervous about doing it here because the humidity is so different here than it was in Calgary. I don't know how it's going to go, so fingers crossed, and let's get started. Here is the black baking soda. It's a little under 24 hours later, and it feels pretty dry. I don't know exactly how dry it is, but I'm not going to prime this baking soda. It's already been primed with some water, and I'm going to proceed as normal. We're going to transfer this to my stand mixer because I'm going to be using my stand mixer for today's bath bombs. Visually, it looks pretty black. If I got bath bombs this dark of a color, I'd be pretty happy. So if it gets darker than this, that's going to be a huge plus. I've heard of people running their baking soda through a processor like a Ninja Bullet to get out all of these clumps. I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm just going to work with this as it is and hope for the best. I've also tweaked my recipe slightly. A patron was requesting a tiny tweak to my bath bomb recipe. I made a suggestion, they followed that suggestion, and it worked beautifully for them. So now I'm actually going to try out my suggestion and see how it works for my bath bombs. The tweak will hopefully help the bath bombs fizz a little bit more, but I've never actually done the suggestion that I tell people. But everyone tells me that what I tell them works, so That's a good sign. I'm making a bigger batch because I want to make enough to send to all of my golden bubbles, the ones who signed up for September. It's the 18th now, so I might get a few more sign-ups before the cutoff on the 26th. So now to this baking soda, I'm gonna add my dry ingredients. We're gonna start with cream of tartar. Next, we're gonna add some catering clay. And last, we are adding SLSA powder, which gives the bath bomb a nice foam. And the tweak to this recipe was mainly to my SLSA so that it doesn't foam for as long. Just want to give it a try to see if this really decreases the foam factor. So these are my dry ingredients. I'm now going to add them to my baking soda and get this going in the blender, sorry, the stand mixer. And then I'm going to get my bath bomb press hooked up and going with the compressor. So the next bit is just going to be a montage. And I'll see you again once everything is ready and we're ready to press. So here is the bath bomb mix, and I usually spray it with some extra water, but I think it's plenty wet already. Like it's staying together when I squeeze it. So I think it's good to press as is. So that's what I'm gonna do. The bath bomb press likes a drier mix, so this just might work as it is. We'll see. Should I add at least one spray of water? No, let's keep it. Let's try pressing with just this and see what happens. So here's my mix. It's pretty dark, which is awesome because that's exactly what I was going for. I'm gonna transfer this to a wider bowl for easier access to the mix. I'm going to just give it a quick mix with my hands. And now we're gonna prep everything else. So the mold we're gonna be using today is the mold that I use for my best-selling bath bombs, which are just the regular medium round bath bombs. And this is a mold that I got with the bath bomb press. And because it's an all black bath bomb, I do want some color in there. I was gonna make some embeds, but I really didn't feel good yesterday. I was hit with a really bad allergy attack. The glitter that I'm using today is Bubble Grape glitter from Fizz Fairy, which is this purple, a purple, blue, and gold glitter, which I think fits really well with the whole Halloween theme. I just sprinkle the tiniest bit, spread it around, and because that glitter is kind of chunky, I want some finer glitter, and this is bright yellow gold glitter, also from Fizz Fairy. Just dust in there as well. Just gonna use my tool to spread that around. Then I'm going to start filling up. And as I'm filling up, I'm just gonna create holes in the bath bomb with my hand and then lightly pressing it down until you get to the top. Then I'm going to make a bit of a mound. It's been a while since I've done this, just so it feels really good to be doing that. Let's move this aside and bring in my machine. And this is the bath bomb press machine. I'm just gonna get this guy and screw it into my machine. And then we're going to press, fingers crossed. Okay, looks like it pressed. To get this out of the mold, you twist it And then flip it over. Here's the moment of truth. Oh my gosh. A perfect black bath bomb. How beautiful is that? Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with how that pressed. Yes. For those wondering, the fragrance oil that I'm using is a blend of salted caramel and a cherry fragrance oil. I'll link them both down below, but it's such a great scent. You have that delicious cherry scent blended with caramel. It's a really good autumn scent, but also very, I don't know, warm and comforting and kind of fruity, which is why I like it. Perfect. Just perfect. That hue of black was not something I've been able to get before in bath bomb making. So I'm really excited that it's possible. And I really think that the key to that is that hot water and using a lot of it. Or sorry, using a lot of the dye, not the hot water. And really working the dye with your hands. Just a reminder to you guys, I don't have any type of dehumidifier running right now. And it's fall, but I live by a lake. I'm in Washington. It's still pretty humid around here. So I'm very pleased with how these are forming together. That was one of my worries. But now that I know that my recipe works really well with the bath bomb press, those bath bombs feel really solid, by the way. I'm even more eager to get my business open and running again. You don't know how tough it is to not open up my shop. I'm chomping at the bit too, but it's also a really good thing at the end of the day because you can really move too fast on certain decisions, and it's good to just be able to just take a breather and really think things through, to soft launch it on this channel to my patrons and get people's feedback as I'm creating things and throwing ideas out there. And you guys have been awesome with feedback. There have been some people with kind of harsh feedback, but I welcome that too. Let me do it for this camera. I really do appreciate all of the comments from you guys. Oh, I lost a bit of the Saturn ring over there. Oh well. I'm also really loving the response I've been getting from my shorts that I've been posting. I think it's definitely something I'll continue into the fall. This is really the best part, just the unmolding. And the reveal. So gorgeous. Looks kind of like a galaxy. So I've now tested my bath bomb mix with hand press molds, with the hybrid molds, and now with the bath bomb press molds. And it's passed with flying colors in all kinds of environments. I'm really starting to think that this recipe is pretty good. But you guys remember I didn't spray this mix with any water because I suspected with the humidity in the air and also with me priming the baking soda with water to get this black dye color, but there was already plenty of water in the mix, so I didn't need to add more water by spraying it. And these little things, knowing how to adjust your recipe for the environment or recognizing how to tweak something, that all comes with time and experimentation. Wow, the cherry smells excellent in this bath bomb. And for me, I think that's the key to making a fall fragrance really good, is adding a bit of a fruit element, whether that be cherry or berry or apple. They really help cut the edge of that sugary pastry scent that a lot of fall fragrances have. Gorgeous. So I'm gonna keep pressing until all my mix is gone and come back once we're all pressed. finished bath bombs and I think I nailed it. I think that these bath bombs look pretty black, like a true black, not a ashy gray, not a purple, not a brown. And they look so beautiful with that gold glint at the top, like hello. I don't know if they'll end up getting warts. We'll find that out tomorrow when I will also demo one of these bath bombs for you in the bath to see how it fizzes. But for now, we're gonna dry these over 12 hours and I'm gonna clean this huge mess up. Well, it's not a huge mess, but I actually still have dishes from when I made soap that I still need to wash. I'm really looking forward to getting a sink installed here. Hopefully that won't be too long from now. Good morning, everybody. We are back in the studio and here are the bath bombs dried. You can see that they've lightened up just a little bit, but I think they're still pretty black. The bottoms are darker than the top, probably because they weren't exposed to as much air, but this is a black bath bomb to me. It is kind of speckled, I will say that, but against the gold and the sparkle, oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is such a pretty bath bomb. So since these are completely dry now, I'm gonna go and demo it to show you how it fizzes in the water. Hey guys, we are in my bathroom and I'm going to be demoing this guy in the bathtub. Bring this over to the bathtub. Show it to you guys one more time. Then release. So this bath bomb fizzed for about 7 minutes, and this is the color of the water that you get, this really inky black color, and there's still a little bit of bath bomb left actually. And you guys noticed in the beginning that it did sink, so I wonder if that's because I tested them literally the next day after I made them. It could be that. I should test them again in a couple of days to see whether or not they will all sink like that, or if I just need to give them some time. But the other test is to see whether or not this black water will stain my very white bathtub. So let's go ahead and see that, if it does that. So here is the tub afterwards. There was some glitter I had to clean up, but other than that, it came down the drain cleanly. That being said, definitely test all of your bath bombs just to see whether or not they stain, because sometimes they can if you use just a little bit too much. A water-soluble dye can still leave behind some residue. So it's very important that you test. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. If you want the recipe for that black bath bomb, I have a link to it down below in my Patreon. And thank you to everyone who chooses to support me on there, no matter what tier you pick. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to each and every one of you. But that is it for today. Until the next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.